Hello everybody, Skylar here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my brand new Circus baby mask. But before we get into that, I just wanted to say, some of you might be wondering if I'm back from my break officially. Technically no, I've decided to continue my YouTube work still, but more as just like a hobby rather than as like an actual YouTube career. So I'm technically back, but also not in the same way. So I'm going to be probably posting a little bit less than I used to, but I'm still going to be working on projects here and there. And yeah, so let's get into the showcase. Here she is. Da, da, da. So as you can see, she is quite spooky. I think it turned out really well. So basically what I did was I bought an airsoft mask of a metallic skull, and I modified it heavily, and then I just sort of built off of that to make this entire thing. And yeah, it turned out pretty cool. In case you guys were wondering, just to settle the debate, people were really confused on TikTok and Instagram if this was Eleanor or Circus Baby. Specifically, I made Circus Baby, but I made it kind of based off of Eleanor and Circus Baby. So this is kind of my own design mixed with Circus Baby and Eleanor, so it's a little bit of both. So technically everybody was right, but I am calling this mask Circus Baby, essentially. So on the inside I basically just got a bit of foam to kind of pad the top of my head and kind of keep my face in place, and then I got these two, it's kind of hard to see them, LEDs in there that when I turn them on, it makes her eyeballs light up very bright green. And I think it looks really cool because it's got that sort of optical illusion effect where it looks like she's always kind of looking at you depending on the angle. Also, it gets brighter if it points directly at the screen, because these LEDs are pretty bright. So if you look, they're kind of facing off center, so they're like, this one is facing that way. So if I turn it, it gets a lot brighter when it hits the camera directly. Same with the other one, which is kind of funny, but also cool at the same time, or at least I think it's cool. And yeah, so does the face open up? Yes, it do. So basically, there's just two magnets on either side, here and here, and it basically holds her face together. The pigtails are actually part of the mechanism to open the faceplate. So basically when I'm wearing it, which I'll show in a second, but when I'm wearing it, I just raise both hands up to do like a jump scare, like rawr kind of thing. But what I actually do is I use the back of my hands and sort of smack the pigtails, and it pops open the faceplate automatically. So it's pretty cool looking, I think. And yeah, so these pigtails have a metal wire going all the way through them, all the way to the end, so they're pretty sturdy. They're not really flimsy. I covered that with foil, and then I covered the foil with EVA foam clay, and then I covered the EVA foam clay once it dried with fabric to make it this effect. And I think it turned out pretty good. Future Skylar here. Something somebody said was really funny to me, and now I can't unsee it. Someone just said basketball, and now I can't unsee it. It's funny though, I think it's funny, because they're right. So I'll put it on now so you guys can see what it looks like. So basically this would be the jump scare. I would be like, if that makes any sense. And yeah, so there's basically just a hinge on the side here, the magnets in the middle, and then I raise my hands and hit these, and it pops open. Yeah, relatively simple when it comes down to it. Now there is technically two different shades of white fabric I used. I used kind of a tannish fabric for the face plates, and then a white for the chin, and on the back side there's a bit of white and tan. I mainly did that because I ran out of fabric, and I really wanted to finish this. So I'm gonna kind of incorporate that effect with the rest of the cosplay once I actually start working on it. because as of right now I just made the head of the cosplay, but I do want to make an entire outfit for her because I think it would be really cool. And also I finally finished all of the sister location characters. As you can see, I have a whole shelf down there dedicated to them all, and the only one I didn't have was Circus Baby. I technically had Scrap Baby, but I never really cared for how she turned out, to be totally honest. Speaking of which, let's compare the two. Turns out my Scrap Baby puppet doesn't work anymore. That's fine. That's probably because it's been sitting on my shelf for ages. Oh well. So with my Scrap Baby puppet, I used a wig to make the pigtails. I much prefer this one over this one just because it looks way better in my opinion than this one ever did. Plus, the real hair was a nightmare to do with this one rather than just making like the shape of it and covering it with fabric. Yeah. This one is way better in my opinion. Sorry, Scrap Baby. You've been replaced. I was going to add some more details to her, but I decided to not do that just for a couple various reasons. One of the ones, I was going to add actual eyeballs on the like exterior part of the face so that she would have real eyeballs, but it looked so goofy that I decided to scrap that idea. And then I was going to actually give her physical ears, and something just like when I was going about it to like put them on, they just looked weird to me, so I decided to scrap the ears as well. So like I guess it was just because of the placement of the pigtails. I couldn't really put them up far enough or back far enough because they would need to be like right there-ish for it to like look correct. But I think it looks alright without ears, to be totally honest. And then the last thing was I was going to put these metal pins with these like little balls on the end of them. I was going to cut them and like glue them in to have like her little specialty like metal pins that kind of come out of her head and stuff. I was gonna put like 3 or 4 of them in the top of it. But then I realized that would be too close to actual spring locks in one of my masks because these suckers are solid and could probably poke through the foam into my head if I actually put them in it. So I got a little too purple for that one. So I decided to scrap that idea as well. So this is what we ended up with, and honestly I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. The only other mask that I think I should compare this Circus Baby to is my Circus Innard. I think he looks pretty cool in comparison. They actually look surprisingly similar, like they came from the same place, and that's kind of what I was going for, so I think it works pretty well with the style of Circus Baby and Circus Innard and so on. But yeah, I think they look really cool together. So now I just have to figure out a place to display her until I make the rest of the cosplay. Because once I get the full cosplay done, I'm probably going to replace Glamrock Freddy with her in the background, just because I think she looks way cooler. Sorry Freddy, that's on me. You kind of look a little derpy in my opinion. And yeah, like I said, we're going to wrap the video up there. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you are new, please subscribe. I have a lot of followers, but most of them are dead followers or something. They don't really watch my videos anymore. So if you want to be an active follower, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell for more cosplay stuff like this. I'm also working on like, I don't want to spoil it, but it's a Undertale video. It's not Stronger Than You Part 2, but it is Sans related. So stay tuned for that. It's gonna be really cool. And yeah, I will see you on the next one. Bye bye now. Woo.